We'll just start it off with the thoughts on the match.
I think it was good. I mean, obviously, I don't know if you guys know, but when's the last time we won consecutive games?
14 May 21.
Okay, yeah, that's a long time. So putting 2 wins back to back, like we're super thrilled with that. I think we started off slow. I think we struggled in our formation to start. But I'm really proud of the way we just like kind of rode the waves of the game. I think they came out really strong second half. And honestly, we're really good tonight. Like, I have to credit Chicago. They executed their game plan really well, and they were really gritty and committed to what they were trying to do. And I think their pieces are really coming together. But yeah, we found a way. We put 2 wins back to back, which is huge for us. But I think there's still a lot we can learn from this game, and just take that into second half of the season.
Yeah, I think the goal going into this game was to have 2 performances back to back. Obviously, we were really happy with the performance on Pride Night last week, but that can kind of feel like it's like a monkey on your back a little bit when it's just like you've been chasing it for so long, and so. Yeah, credit to Chicago. I think that they were tough to break down in the first half. We were getting a bit impatient, but as Sam said, like kind of weathering the storm a bit as they kind of started to gain momentum late in the game, like just trying to keep it as professional as a performance as we could in terms of managing the time, continuing to exploit like what was working for us. So really happy, obviously, to get the 3 points at home before this big break.
Mm-hmm. And then first half to second half kind of felt a little dramatically different, I think, for the people watching. Kind of what was that halftime messaging and kind of adjustments you guys talked about?
Well, we changed our formation, so that helps. I think our press in the formation we came out with in the second half, like our 4-4-2 press is really, really good. And I think we adjusted for a number of reasons and gave something a try, which is, always good. I think we always have stuff in our back pocket, which is, it's good to be versatile. But I think like that press is lethal and it's so hard to build up against. And I think we're at our best when we're in it and being front-footed in that. So I think once we kind of gain momentum from that, and also just like picking up the little things, like our energy levels, our communication, our body language, I don't think those things were necessarily good enough in the first half. I think things started falling into place for us. So,
yeah, really started getting more chances in the second half. I think that it can be tough to bounce between formations, but I think that the team handled it really well and continued to do what makes this team special is like that high press and like trying to put the opponent under pressure, especially at home. So credit to the group for continuing to make that like a part of our identity and kind of core values. It wasn't something that we, were going in at half and it's like we want to change anything in terms of that high intensity press. So, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and then, like you guys mentioned, obviously winning a second game in a row is something that's kind of been building for a while. How does that feel to kind of get that right now before this big internet or like the summer window and all that? What does that momentum kind of mean to the team?
I think it'll be a while before we're all back together, let alone, competing in regular season NWSL games. So it's just like a really good standard to have when we come back, and everybody's going to be coming back from different places, different competitions. So it's the best possible position we can put ourselves in going into that break. As we enter the second half of the season, we know the real push begins. So, yeah.
It felt like when your subs came in, it like really changed the game in a positive way. So how do you build up your subs off the bench, and what does that look like as a team to make that so cohesive?
Yeah, I think our culture does a really good job of doing that. It's just like whoever is called upon, like, is committed to getting the job done. And I think it's hard, coming on in that position in a really close game, and you want to be starting. But I think our team does a really good job in just reinforcing belief in one another and knowing like, okay, you got 30 minutes to ball out, like get the job done, and they did. And so it's kind of just like next woman up, if you will. And I think Ruby, oh my goodness, you strong girl, Rubison, no. She's like, oh. But what was I saying?
Next woman up.
Yeah. Like I think it's easy for that to kind of like hurt your confidence at times. If you're starting, then you're coming off the bench. But I think for us, it's just like, do the job you're called on to do, no matter what that looks like. And I think our team is really selfless in that way. And I think our culture, sets us up to do that, and for players to believe in themselves, whether they're coming in the last 5 or, being a hype woman on the bench. Like every role on our team is invaluable, and we need everyone. So, yeah, I think everybody executed their role really well.
And Bella, you broke the club record for most clean sheets. Can you just talk to us about your journey?
Did you hear that, Ruby?
Proud of me?
From being drafted by the team, being the hometown hero, and now just having your name etched in history for the club?
Yeah, I think that it means everything to me. I love this club so much. I feel like in some ways I was like raised in this stadium. Been coming to compete with this team since I was, late high school, early college, and so in a lot of ways I've seen so many iterations of this team, and so many amazing goalkeepers have come through this club. I mean, I think of, they've all touched my career in some way, in like meaningful ways, and I think of Nadine, I think of Michelle Betos, Adi Franch, Britt Eckerstrom, like these are all like goalkeepers that really took me under their wing, and either as coaches or players, and really shaped me to be who I am. And so I am so proud to have my name amongst these great goalkeepers for this club, and I'll continue fighting for championships and more shutouts, and yeah, next one,
And Sam, the big talk from a lot of the new players has been team culture meetings and just how they feel included and just feel like a part of the team. Can you just kind of talk to us about the importance of that, but also, the next player mentality, right, with Kaya going down, unfortunately, and then Pietra Torden getting the start today and just been, playing really good football as of late as well.
Yeah, I think it's just like a testament to the character of our group, and I think it takes a really special players and people to do that and to not kind of let your ego get in the way. And I think we've struggled with that as a team in the past, but I think this group is so unique in that, like, I think everyone wants what is best for the team. And if that means that you're in a position you don't want to be in, you can have your feelings, of course. But I think like it is whatever it takes to do for the team to win. And I think just like executing whatever that role might look like. And so that's something we've been really intentional about and, talking about and, calling out any behavior that might not align with that. And look, it's professional sports. Like we all want to be on the field. We all want to be playing all the time. Like if we didn't, I would be concerned. But I think our group is so special in that like no one lets their kind of own personal feelings or agenda or whatever it might be kind of get in the way of what the team needs. And I think everyone, like I said, is just like next woman up and always wanting to be our best and always doing whatever it takes to help the team win. So yeah, I'm really proud of our mindset in that. And like, even for example, like Pete coming in tonight, coming off the bench on whatever day it was when we played DC Sunday, and then starting tonight and scoring the game winning goal. Like that's a perfect example of that. And, she hasn't been a consistent starter yet. And now, like things are changing and, a player goes down and she's called upon and she executes. And, that's just such a credit to her. But I think that's a perfect example of like what that culture looks like and what that means.
Yeah, I think it can be hard to be on a team where sort of everybody's relied upon in some way. Like like with so many young players too, like you never know who is really going to need to step into their role in any given game, in that we don't rely on one or two players to get the job done. It could be anyone. It could be someone coming off the bench. It could be someone who's starting. It could be someone who's getting their first start. Like it really could be anyone that's changing these moments in the game. And so that in and of itself, I think we've really held each other to a high standard of when you're called upon, like we've all got your back, go for it, like full license to just absolutely like pedal to the metal. Like don't be afraid to go for it.
Sam, kind of wanted to go back to the goal. When you played that ball across, did you know Pietra's there?
Yeah, well, I saw somebody.
Someone was there.
I think if I'm being honest, I think I was trying to pass to Raylan. And was it Raylan in the box? I think it was, yeah. And thank God I missed her because she was less on than Pietra was. So it worked out, Yeah, I think like a big theme for me this year is just trying to join the attack more and not be so committed to that sixth role of mine, and trying to be more fluid in the attack. And I think playing alongside Jess and Hina, like I feel that freedom that I can do that, knowing like they know when to hold, they know when maybe they need to stay back a bit if I am joining. So yeah, I think I love being able to kind of like play the six like a 10 in a way and join whenever possible. But no, to answer your question, I was trying to pass to Raylan, but it worked out. So, yeah.
I get so excited when I see Sam breaking into the box. You go, you box.
I think I scare Rob a little bit, but it's okay.
Cover for you.
Yeah.
Go on.
They're like, someone please hold. Like, it's not gonna be me.
Well, let's pretend you meant to pass it to Pietra.
Yes.
She did.
I meant to pass to someone in there.
She
you know?
subconsciously
just
knew
sort of,
someone was there.
but just sort of expanding upon Pietra and how she's grown into this role. She's started 3 games and scored in all 3 of them. So, just how have you seen her progress from being the start of the year to where she's at now?
She's such a baller. Like, she's just, I mean, first off, like, her feet are insane. Like, back to goal. Like, she is, I think we rarely see like a traditional 9 anymore. But she honestly reminds me of Sinky in so many ways. Like, so good back to goal. So, her feet are so excellent. And I mean this in like the least sexist way possible, but like, she has boy hips. I've always said that. Like, she just can like, like she can. Right, we're biologically very different. Like, but I feel like men sometimes will like whip the ball, and I'm like, you don't have hips. Like, how did you do that? And P does that, and I'm like, yeah. Anyway, yeah. But just like such a clinical finisher. So good in the box. So savvy, so tricky. So we're so proud of her and just the way that she's navigated, again, even like the ups and downs of starting, not starting. And she, to your point, has like consistently shown up in all the games that she's been called upon. So I'm really excited to just like continue to watch her grow. She's been really fun to play with.
Okay, before I bring you back to the room, I got someone on K2. Just want to take a moment to see if you want to ask a question. I'll take that as a no. Okay, we have room for one final question in the room. Does anybody have a final question? All right. Well, that's it. Thank you guys for coming in. Congrats, Bella.
Thank you.
We'll follow up with Rob.
Can you clap, Ruby?
Yay, Ruby! Clap. Can we clap? Come on,
Or
Rubes.
wave or something. Give
Can you
the
wave?
audience
Say bye.
something.
Can you clap?
I know you can clap, but can you do it?
He's smiling.
Yay, Rubes!
She's like, I'm ready for bed, guys.
Yay! Go, Mama!
She's like, no.
It's like, I'm good.
Go to bed.
She right
All
there.
done?
Yeah. Yeah.
All done. Mama time.
We'll start with your thoughts on the match.
Another really controlled performance. First half, I think we were around 60% possession, sort of pop up on the scoreboard. Only disappointment for me was that middle to final third. We needed to turn them around a little bit and take care in that final pass, just commit the last defender. So that was what we talked about at half-time. We know they get very, very narrow, and those little slip balls down the side, you saw in the second half, and getting peeps on with a little more width, we were able to, get into those spaces more and create, better chances. But I thought some of the ball movement, the quality, front to back again, defending, back four was immense. Isabella Obeys today, I thought was brilliant, absolutely first class. Bells, breaking the clean sheet record. I'm just really, really proud of the group. We're 3 points off second. We're the youngest team in the league. 6 players not available to us for the rest of the season. It's a remarkable achievement that I don't care what anybody says. You tell me the people who believed in that outside of our room. I didn't see him at the start of the season. I didn't hear that. That wasn't the narrative around our team. And I'm just so pleased and proud of the players because they deserve it. The performances have been excellent. And as I said last week, they probably should have more points because the performances haven't always ended in the results. But I can't fault the group. I love them to bits. I'm super proud. Super, super proud of them.
And then, right, Sam Coffey getting the assist, she was pushing really high. She told us that she was pretty sure she gives you heart attacks with how far up she presses. Is that true?
No, like with the ball, I want to keep getting in, and like we talked about the midfield. No, I trust Sammy, to be fair. I said we got a bit more college coffee this year and getting her into those high slots, and we've been encouraging it. Yeah, if it was a late pressing decision and jumping into those high slots, I might have to take a breath. But no, she was excellent again tonight. Midfield, very, very good. And honestly, we should have won by more in the end.
And then obviously now you're heading into the summer break. How do you kind of take ending on a high with 2 wins in a row and obviously a win at home? How do you take that energy and like carry that through kind of a long break where players are kind of off all over?
Yeah, I think I said there's no way you carry momentum with a 5-week break. International tournaments, I just cross my fingers, drop down on my knees and pray that we don't have any injuries after coming back off the international break. It's been the bane of my life for the time that I've been here. I've said it before, from the Olympics last year, and the amount of players that I've not had available to me for selection. But it's all credit to the players that are here. It's credit to the work they do day in, day out, and the ones who don't, get the credits. The Di, the Carissas, Maura Kelly. This is her last day with us after a short-term contract. Those players are so important because they keep the heartbeat going when the others are away. They're always knocking down the door. It's nice to get Alexa out there tonight. She's been excellent in training. The attitude's been first class. And it takes a squad, and especially this year. But they keep stepping up. They keep battling the home performances. Look, all home and away has been excellent, but the home results have been excellent. So, yeah, I wish we could take that into 5 weeks' time, but it'll be a completely different environment. There'll be some different faces, that is ultimately, professional football, and we're just trying to get as many healthy bodies ready and available, and from that epicenter week you'll see a gradual ramp up, but these guys deserve the break, some time with their families and friends, and for the internationals, like I say, hope they get away, enjoy that experience. You can see JP with her call-up. Kaya would have been with the first team. She'd been announced in that squad and unfortunately doesn't get that opportunity. Pietra, same thing, just because of the injury right now, would have been away with the under-23s, but Hina, Issa, Sammy, all of those, Maka, Torpy, the whole group, we wish them well in this next window. And then, look forward to welcoming them all back probably mid-July, really, before we see everybody back in the building again.
Sam just talked about how she likes the 4-4-2 in the press tonight. What do you look for after the break? Do you keep this style of play? What's your lineup? What do you hope for?
Yeah, like the system is irrelevant to the style of play. That's just numbers on a piece of paper, depending if they have 3 in their build, 2 in their build, 4, single pivot, double pivot. It's about denying them space, making play predictable, and then as you see, when we do that and we all go together, we're really aggressive in the hunt and the press. So, Sammy likes a bit of coverage back there. She likes to run everywhere when we don't have the ball, but wants to sit in the middle when we don't have the ball. She's more central. When we do have the ball, she's moving all over the place. So I can see why Sammy wants 2 in there. But they done a terrific job. You could see we went diamond first half. And then changed it at half-time just to keep a new coach on his toes and see what he threw at us and where we could exploit some spaces. But that's the key. It's key to the game model. I said it last year when I started. We want 3 systems of play that we can be fluid in. And now we're getting the legs and the ability to press and the ability to deal with also long balls in behind like we did tonight. Mally, again, come on, did really well. Rayner, solid. Sam grew into it once we started to get more aggressive in the pockets to help Sam when it was a diamond, because those little pockets, you could see they were looking to try and overload and combine. Then we were very, very good in that pressing structures again. So I don't think we'll change approach, system. Let's see what personnel I have available to me to try and put the best team on the field, as we always try to do.
And then Rob, you mentioned it this week. You were hoping Bella would get the record tonight. She got that. She made that happen. Can you just kind of talk to us about just putting her name in history for the club and just the impact she has on this club at this point?
Yeah, delighted for her. I think we announced the contract extension as well, which went out in the broadcast. And again, credit to, like I've said time and time again, to come back and threaten. And it's great because Mac obviously has great quality too. And we need someone who's going to push and make sure that we've got 2 vying for that position. And Bells has done that and threatened and waited for her time. And then obviously Mac's injury was unfortunate for Mac. But Bells has stepped in, and what have we got? 3 clean sheets in the last 4 games, I think, going in with the Mexico game as well. And Morgan Mesner got one of them, so I should mention her too. I don't know if I've mentioned everybody tonight, but I'm trying to. And yeah, look, she's one of our own, and the club means so much to her. When we're doing the high fives as we leave to go out to the field, she's the last one always that I see, and we just have a little hug. You know, she cares. I need her in the dressing room, and she's a leader. I'm really pleased for her to get back-to-back shutouts, and she deserves that record.
Yeah, and then Rob, you were mentioning Kaya, knocking on the door for the senior national team.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, went down for the season. And then looking at who's going to step up, Torden has been that player for you at least for the past few weeks and beyond. Looking like, can you just kind of talk about her impact just moving forward as well?
Yeah, let's get her out of the boot. I think we're still about 4 or 5 weeks of RTP training and get her back to full health. And there's a lot more to come from Pietra, as there is for a lot of these. They're first-year professionals, and we can't forget that. Same with Kaya, and obviously Dynamics has got her that senior call-up. Pietra would have been with the under-23s. It's exciting for US Soccer. I talked to Emma Hayes a lot about that. We're sharing a similar kind of season where a lot of your big names and top players are out, and you're looking at new solutions and finding them. But it's exciting for US Soccer to have a player like that, and Pietra's done it on the international stage with the under-20s, and now she's learning what it takes to do it at this level, because you see they're very aggressive off the front tonight. I think the first 3 fouls were on her, and not all of them were called, but she's going to face that because she's good with her back to goal. She links in. If we're going to get her a chance, that was great to see her on the end of the one that was coming across, and good movement. Like the goal was a terrific team goal, and Raylan's movement allows that space as well. So really pleased. Everything we asked of them at halftime, they came on and did. And then again, just having to rotate the pack, use the fresh legs, and then Peeps came on and nearly got a hat-trick herself, one off the bar, one low and wide, and probably could have committed the goalie a little bit tighter. But I've been really pleased with the young forward line. Raylan, who's a second-year pro as well. They're only going to get better and better.
So I know you have a lot of players going to be gone for this break, but what does the 5-week break mean for you, the staff, and the players that are here? Is there an element of a break to it, or is it just kind of go? I mean, what does the break mean, I guess?
It means for the next few days there's a CBA break, and the staff will get to go home, a few of them, and get some rest and get out of this place and be human beings. For the first time since January the 15th, I think, when we met. And then we're back a week later, and we're right through to November the 23rd, and then beyond as the season goes. So, yeah, short break, rest, recover. Hopefully they get to spend some time with their loved ones and enjoy a little bit of time away from each other. They really get on as a group. But it's also important to go out and see the support system and the people behind you. So, yeah, little break, but that's it. It's not a 5-week break. It's a 1-week break, and then we're at it again.
All right, any other questions in the room?
And then Rob, Sam was talking about how she loved the fact that Jessie Fleming and Hina Sujita, every time she went forward, to be college coffee, she had the support back there, defensively. Can you just kind of talk to us about just why, the importance of having her move forward throughout the periods of the game?
Yeah, I think we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, and if I'm mandating, I said it, shut down the sixes. You got a player like Sam in the middle of the park, national team quality, Olympic gold medalist. You can see the pressing, they're very, very narrow, and they're going to try and deny Sam outlets. So if we just stick with rigid formation and have her as the pivot and in that diamond, then that's going to be shut down. So it's important we stretch the single press or the double press. We follow the press to get those spaces in behind. But if Sam can get out of that space and it allows Ahina, Jessie, even a Liv Moultrie, the ball, the reverse ball, we missed it a few times in the first half. That was the biggest key. We need to play that ball, be bold from the centre-backs like we didn't do against Bay. We've been better at that. We're much better second half. Play in through the midfield, because then the player coming and receiving, now Sam can turn, she's face forward, she has that ability to drive in. And I think I said it before, but Hina will slow the game down naturally. She beats a player and then does that thing that dislocates everybody's hip and everybody in the stadium, and we all slide with her, and you feel the shake because somehow she turns on a dime the other way. Jessie tends to just slow the game down, link, find the play. Sam can quicken the game up. Liv Moultrie running at defenders can quicken the game up. So you need those players beyond their midfield line. You can't just play in front and keep the ball and go sideways or backwards, because we're never going to hurt opposition. And I thought that was a little bit tentative first half. Needed a little bit more. We changed the shape, went 4-3-3, out and out 10, got Liv in the pockets. You saw how we created a bit more width and stretched the opposition. And we knew with the fresh legs coming on and Lex and then Peeps that we'd be able to get after it a little bit more and create some chances later on. But yeah, you can't underestimate the ability of players in the midfield to break lines with them without the ball. And then once we bypass the press, you've got to drive and commit. And you have to make defenders make decisions. And that's, you know, that's why dribblers in world football are so important, right? That's what we pay to see. And I thought midfield balance all the way across, whether it was a 4 or a 3 tonight, and then the 2 coming on, you know, done the job for us and controlled the game, both sides again, full value for the victory.